Surprise! You haven't forgotten me then.
You look a mess. What are you doing here?
I'm here to see you. It's quite a long walk up here from the bus stop, Gloria. They should do something about that.
You better come in and sit down.
I heard your father. I heard he passed. I wanted to say I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I won't stay. I don't want to be any trouble. I'm sure you're busy or have things to do with the funeral and so on.
It was yesterday.
That was quick.
Not really. There wasn't that much to do. Not many people to notify.
How are you?
I've just boiled the kettle. Why don't you sit down? I'll make us a cup of tea.
Oh, that'd be nice. Just a bit of milk, Gloria. You know how I like it, and hot. Haven't had a decent cup since you left. That Hannigan woman, it's not all that bad. She does offer, but she's foreign. A cup of tea from her hands is a travesty. It's like taking a lukewarm milky bath. You think a few minutes in the tea bag and the hot water would be called for, but I think she just waves it over. Essence of bloody tea. It's not such a difficult thing, is it, to make a hot cup of tea? But it's still better than that foul muck in the dining room. I think they take pleasure in it. But I won't have it anymore. I refuse. I'd rather go without. Look at all those lovely photos. Ooh, I didn't know you rode. How old were you there?
14.
You were as cute as a button. Just look at you.
All right, that's enough.
Oh, your mum was a looker, wasn't she?
Watch yourself.
Is this your brother?
Yes?
I can see the resemblance. You're close.
I don't see him very often. He lives overseas.
He didn't come home for your dad?
It was all of a sudden. And what would be the point now?
Hmm.
Your tea's getting cold.
Oh, this is lovely. I've missed this. Sweet Jesus. What's this? What's this you're reading? Oh, hang on. Oh, that's a sweet pair of... Oh, who's that? Scarlett Johansson. Who's this Scarlett Johansson? Is she famous?
Yes, she's in the movies.
Dirty picture business, I guess.
I don't think there's been anything like that.
By the looks of what she's wearing here.
Don't be ridiculous. That's quite decent. It's not the 1900s anymore.
You calling me old?
That's the word for it.
You seem a bit down.
Did I mention my father died?
I know, love. That's why I'm here.
Are you? You sure it's not because you couldn't get a decent cuppa?
And that. I don't see a picture of him.
I don't have one handy.
I was right to be worried about you. You look like you've not slept for a week.
I can't get my head around it. I close my eyes, but my brain fires up.
I know, love. When my Rose passed, it was the most horrible thing. Do you want to talk about it? Yeah, I'll be dead soon. All your secrets will be safe.
That's an offer.
Are you getting some help? Who's here for you?
A few people have popped by. They've been really kind. Finalka came, said you've been a right pain in the arse. Wanted to know how I put up with you for so long.
Special skills.
I've discovered that when someone dies, you find out how many real friends you have. Turns out I don't have that many.
I never really thought of you having any friends.
That's nice.
Now, don't get me wrong, I just never imagined it. You down the pub, all that.
I'll have you know I was quite the social butterfly in my day.
What do you mean in your day? It's still your day. Wait till you get to my age and then let's you hear talk about in my day.
Well, those days are past, however you want to put it. Rushing home to squeeze into something uncomfortable and propping up the bar? Why on earth would I bother when I can relax here with a nice glass of wine?
You should be getting out there and making the most of it while all your bits are still working.
Shorty!
Look, I know what I'm talking about.
I'm not discussing this with you.
Just trying to help. You need looking after.
It's fine. I don't want people fussing over me.
I mean, someone to look after you, a longer term kind of thing.
That's the last thing on my mind. Don't worry about me. I'm just tired.
Maybe you should take a nap. I could use one.
Why don't you then? You can pop in the spare room. I've got my magazine to keep me company. It's not like I was going anywhere.
If you're sure, I think a little lie down. All this excitement's been a bit much.
What's the problem? You in pain?
Oh, I've got a hell of a pain, ache in the guts.
How are your movements?
Rock solid, it's been days now.
Why didn't you say something to Heinelke?
I've only just met the woman.
For God's sake, Shorty, she's a professional.
I'm not like some of those in there, always on about their colour and consistency with anyone who listens.
I've probably got something to help.
That'd be grand. I can't even get a whistle going down there at the moment.
Tell you one thing for sure, I'm not going to miss this.
Hi, I got here as soon as I could.
Come on in.
I'm so sorry about this. He warned me he was a handful.
It's not your fault.
It's on my watch. I have to take responsibility, don't I? Where is he?
Asleep.
Oh, he's okay?
He's fine. But how on earth did he find me?
You gotta hand it to him. He goes to reception, makes a fuss about sending you flowers, and asks for your address. He's told he can't have it, of course. But the girl in the reception says she'd organize it for him. So she rings and gives the order to the florist, with him standing right there. Oh, where do these kids put their brains?
He delivered himself quicker than the flowers. They better be a decent bunch when they get here.
Look, I'll give him a nudge and we'll get out of here.
It's gone 6. He'll be up soon looking for his dinner. Why don't you have a drink instead and sit a minute? You look like you need one.
You go ahead, I'm still on duty. I'll be drinking like a fish later, though. Oh, God help me, what a day.
You can at least pretend to drink with me. Cheers.
I bet this little drama is the last thing you need right now. How are you holding up?
Is this professional inquiry? Friendly. In that case, I feel like absolute shit.
It's tough losing your parents.
Oh no, I can't do platitudes.
Oh, sorry, Nurses. They seem to spew out of me in moments like this. Would you rather not talk about it?
It's not that. I just don't know what to say. I didn't really know him. He took off when I was just a kid.
Still.
You know, when they rang to tell me, the woman says, "Hello, I'm ringing about Christopher Barber." And I thought, who? Who's that? Then it hits. Hang on, that's my father. That's how long it's been since I thought of him. Can you believe it? And then the penny drops. She's ringing from a hospital. I had this crazy sensation. I was listening to myself make the exact same phone call for one of my patients. And you know how you feel, or at least I do, when you get the kids who don't give a damn, like they put their mum and dad out with the garbage years back, really self-righteous and angry. So there I am, talking to this nurse, but resenting the call. And then I realise, I'm that child.
You're being a bit tough on yourself.
I was just as bad.
Didn't you say he was the one who left? You were only a kid.
He reached out a few times in the early years, but maybe I was punishing him. Then we never heard from him again, like he'd never been there at all, until after God knows how long, he goes and has a stroke. And there I am on the form next of kin. It was mad. I sat there every day, staring at him. I barely recognised him after all those years, not to mention the palsy and the tubes. couldn't drag myself away. It was my dad. And it'd be the last chance I ever had to look at him. He couldn't talk, but he could hear me. Sometimes he'd cry. I didn't know what the hell to do, so I just talked. Filled him in on the last 20 years. Who knew I'd give a damn?
Bet he was happy at me.
I think he was. But I can't shake the feeling that I let him down, or maybe it's more like I let myself down. I don't know. I'm a bit of a mess, really, sorry.
You're just sentimentalising your morning.
Thank you, nurse. I recognise the symptoms. Just stuff I have to deal with, and will deal with in my own time.
Is that why you quit?
I couldn't bear going back, watching all that slow leaking away.
I get it.
It's too much. I just don't have it in me to care at the moment. But the problem is, I'm scared of going back and not caring.
Sometimes it's better not to care too much.
I know, and that works for some people. It just doesn't work for me.
Why not a sabbatical? You've got a long tenure. They would have worked something out.
No, I don't want a deadline. And I can afford a bit of navel gazing now. On top of it all, Dad left me a bit of money. The old bastard really caught up with me in the end.
Okay. But, I'm not going to push, but I don't know how he's going to cope. We are having a great old chat and he's all contrite about calling you and I'm standing right there like a fool thinking I finally sorted him out. Before I'm even back at the nurse's station, he sneaks off to come and find you. He just doesn't give up.
He's really very sweet.
Yeah,
You'll get
right.
used to him.
Oh, let's hope he gets used to me. The funny thing is that if he didn't have such a reputation for being glued to his damn television, I probably wouldn't have noticed until final rounds.
How's Matron?
A book like Dick. Oh, can't believe he slipped between her class. She's taking it as a personal insult. God, that woman is a real bitch. I wanted to let his family know, but she's only worried about fallout for her.
His family? What would they have done about it, dare I ask? Except hope for the worst. Then they could sue us and get him off their hands at the same time.
Cynical.
I've seen it all. I've seen far too much.
If you'd been missing any longer, we'd have had to get everyone involved. Police, family. What a mess. Your message came just in time.
I still can't believe he made it all the way here. Getting the address is one thing. Finding his way here, that's an achievement. After all that, it seemed a shame to turn the poor old bugger in.
What else could you do?
I've no idea. But, look, what if you left him here tonight? He's already mucked up the bed. I'll pop him back in the morning, no harm done.
Wouldn't he love that? But he's in our legal custody, remember? And he's already missed his afternoon's meds. He didn't think of that when he made his escape.
Of course, where's my brain gone?
It's very good of you to offer. I think you still care.
Shorty's something else. I've grown accustomed to his face. Where's that from?
My Fair Lady, but I think actually it's her.
Close enough.
Let me get him up.
No point. It'll be any second now. I know his routine's like the back of my hand.
That did me good. That's me busted.
This was your big plan then. You had us all worried.
I'm perfectly all right.
So I see. But that's not the point.
You didn't leave a fella much choice.
You've put Gloria in a difficult
She
situation.
hasn't really been a problem.
See, she likes me being here.
Don't give me that. You knew it was wrong to come.
Now, you've been able to catch up. Yeah? Let's get you home.
Ooh, who are they from?
They're from you.
Oh yes, I remember. Let's have a good look then. Don't get much for your money these days, do you?
I'll put them in water.
So that's it then. I send you a lovely bunch of flowers and you're kicking me out.
Shorty, you didn't think you'd be able to stay here.
What if I don't want to go back? What if I refuse?
Be sensible. You have to go back.
Why? Can't I decide for myself?
Because your son is your legal guardian and he'd like you to stay at
He
Glenview.
doesn't care about Glenview.
He knows you need looking after.
You said I'm fine as long as I take my tablets. That's what you said.
I don't think I exactly said that. Be serious, Shorty. How would you manage?
I could look after myself.
You're doing better now, but you weren't in a great shape when you came to us.
That was after Rose passed. I wasn't making good decisions, and yes, I admit I did something stupid, but I'm fine now. I don't need a guardian, I'm better. Tell her, you know I'm better.
It's not that simple. Once a guardian has been appointed, it has to be reversed by the court.
It's not fair. I don't have the money for all that legal nonsense. I probably don't even have the time.
But if you're serious about this, I'll schedule some sessions with Dr. Beth.
What good would that do?
Well, he might support a formal release assessment. You still a few sessions just to talk about how you're feeling.
I don't need a fucking psychiatrist!
I don't understand the problem, Shorty. You're comfortable at Glenview. You've got all your things there. You've got a nice big room. You can see the garden.
Just because there's a nice view, it's still a prison.
For goodness sake. You know things can't go back to the way they were. Be sensible. If you left, where would you go? What would you do? You going to move in with Paul and Carol?
No, but I could find somewhere, couldn't I?
Look, I've got an idea. It's tea time. Why don't I put on a few sausages, we can have something to eat and all calm down a bit.
Are you sure? Haven't you got enough to deal with?
Be doing me a favour. Got 2 kilos of the damn things. My neighbour's a dear, but she thinks the only way to deal with loss is to keep eating.
Okay. I'll just let them know everything's under control.
It's all right, Shorty. It's all right.
Don't give me that. You know it's not all right.
Come on.
It will never be all right.
Come on. Don't get yourself into a state.
She didn't like me driving. She said I made her nervous.
I know, Peb.
I saw it coming, but I just couldn't get my foot on the brake in time. I know I wasn't much chopped behind the wheel anymore, but it seemed like giving up. Not to be able to drive. I needed to get us around, to look after things. They keep giving out those licences. No one said I couldn't.
I know.
He adored his mother. And after, the things he said to me, he hates me, Gloria. He'll never forgive me.
He was upset. He just lost his mum.
But he was right. Everything he said was true. It's all my fault.
It was years ago now. Maybe it's worth trying to talk about it. It might make things easier.
I can't. I daren't.
Then you have to let it go.
How? He's in charge of my life now. We're stuck with each other. At least I'll get birthdays, Christmases, even if the whole time he's just staring at the door.
But seriously, it's not such a bad place, is it? You've got your routines. I'll visit.
Visit? Can you imagine us sitting opposite, making polite chit-chat? It'll last all of 5 minutes.
Too right. Can't even imagine you being polite for that long.
I'm very charming when I put my mind to it.
Well, pity you don't put your mind to it more often then. If you use some of that charm on Heinalka instead of tormenting her, I think you'll get along just fine.
What's she been saying? She puts up a cold front, but she can't get enough of me.
Exactly.
She likes a mature man. I've seen her watching. I know that look.
Okay, Shorty. Everyone was relieved to hear that you were in one piece. Even Metron seems happy.
I still don't know why you're all fussing so much. I went for a walk, that's all, to visit a friend.
Look, turns out I have a few chores in town. If you're sure it's no bother to give him a bit of dinner, I'll be back in a few hours. How does that sound?
Thank you.
No need to rush.
Call if you need anything. I'm not going to be far away. You behave yourself.
I'll get those sausages going.
Any chance of another cuppa?
I'll put the kettle on.
Look at those! And a nice big potato.
You probably shouldn't be having all this fat. You didn't take your medicine today.
You're not my nurse now, Gloria, but I'll say this. If I go, I want you to know that you've been a treasure.
I'd be more impressed if I couldn't see half-chewed sausage swilling around in there. For God's sake, don't talk and eat at the same time.
I've been thinking. You know you said you'd come and see me. Did you really mean that?
Sure. Maybe I can get permission for us to go out.
Oh, that'd be nice. We could take a drive somewhere.
Do you good to get out and about a bit more.
Imagine that, you and me on an adventure.
Wouldn't be so bad then, would it? Going back?
It'd be lovely to have something like that to look forward to. And so, how often do you think you'd come?
I don't know yet, when I can.
Once a week, you think?
It'll depend on where I'm working next, what my free time's like.
So more like once a month.
Maybe, but maybe more. I just don't want to promise.
No pressure. I'm just trying to get a feel for the thing.
We'll figure something out.
Gloria, don't take this the wrong way, but maybe it's best we just leave things as they are.
You're a contrary old devil. Now you don't want me to visit at all.
I do, but I can't be hanging on for your visits and wondering if you're coming because you want to, or whether you feel bad for an old man.
Listen here, I'm not offering out of pity.
I know you're not, love. That's not what I'm saying.
I don't know what's next for me. I won't promise anything because I don't want to let you down.
I know that. I'm not upset. I know everything's up in the air at the moment. But see, the one thing for certain is that tonight, here with you, I feel like a normal person for the first time in years. It's a real treat for me. I won't forget it. This is what I want to remember.
Okay then, if you're sure.
I just hope you'll be okay, Gloria. I know, because you've become very attached, but it's for the best.
When you change your mind, just give me a call. I'll miss hearing about your shenanigans.
Ooh, listen, I forgot to tell you. There was a terrible incident.
What have you done now?
You remember Nancy with the pink hair?
Yes. What's happened to her?
Dead. Aneurysm. Caught a glimpse of me coming out of the hydrotherapy pool. Knocked her flat.
They should put a health warning on you. You make sure to let Heinelke know.
The weakest link. Dead in British royalty in 1840, Queen Victoria married which German-born prince?
Hi, Dad.
What? What are you doing here?
Well, that's a nice hello.
I'm delighted to see you. I'm just surprised. Is Carol with you?
No, I'm on my own.
Well, this is a lovely treat. What's the occasion?
No, stop, Dad.
It wasn't anything, just a comment.
Sorry, that drive puts me in a mood.
But it has been a while.
Yeah, I've been busy.
I know you have. You're a busy man. What would that job you do? What is it again?
I'm a civil engineer. You know that, Dad?
Of course I know that. I mean the job you're working on, something out in the west.
It's not out west, it's for Westfield.
Ah,
A
that's
shopping
right.
centre.
That's right, I remember now. And how's it going?
Yeah, it's good.
And how's Carol?
She's good. She sends her love.
Busy?
Yeah, she just started a new project.
So busy, you two.
It never stops.
Surprised you find time to see each other.
Yeah, we manage.
So what's new?
Well, let's see, we finished the renovations, so we had some landscaping done. It's completely transformed the place. Hey, look, a few photos.
Oh, yes. It's a lovely garden.
Yeah, I think it'll really add capital value to the place. Not that we'd sell, not yet anyway, but with the new kitchen and now we've opened the place up a bit, I think we're sitting on a bit of a gold mine.
Oh, that's great, son.
And we'll get you out to the house, you know, one of these days, now that the work is finished.
Would you like a cuppa? I could do with a cuppa.
No, I'm alright, it's stopped for a Costas.
Oh, that must have been nice.
Sorry, I should have got you something, I didn't think.
No, don't worry about it. The tea here is just fine. I'm used to it.
Let me get it for you.
Now, don't trouble yourself. Sit down. Let's catch up.
No, I'll get it. I'll get it. I had a message. There was some kind of emergency with my father, Ernest Walton.
Shorty?
Yeah, from his nurse, Gloria.
I see. As a matter of fact, Gloria is no longer with us. He was very upset when he found out she was leaving. There was a bit of an incident.
I see. Well, he seems perfectly fine to me. I thought he'd gone off the deep end again.
It's been a week now. He's settling back into his routines.
Okay, great. Look, but for the future, so we're clear, I don't need to be informed every time he's in a bad mood. I've driven an hour and a half to get here, and in this traffic, it'll be 2 hours on the way back.
Perhaps you should be in there visiting him in that case. Then you will make the most of the trip.
I don't appreciate your tone.
Frankly, Mr. Walton, I don't appreciate yours. I may be mistaken, but you're giving me the impression that your father's health is nothing but an inconvenience to you.
Who do you think you are? I won't be spoken to like this.
If you're unhappy, of course, you're very welcome to take it up to my supervisor. My name is Harnacker. Shall I write it down for you?
Don't push me. I'm not in the mood. Sorry, Dad. Here you go. There was this funny little thing in the hall with bright orange hair. I swear she was giving me the eye.
That'll be Mabel. She can't help herself, but she's all right.
So, I just wanted to come out and make sure you're okay. Is everything okay?
Oh, right as rain.
Okay, because when we got your message, we thought you sounded a bit down.
And you came all this way because of that? You could have called. No, I'm absolutely fine. Nothing to worry about.
Okay, good. And now, I did hear something about your nurse leaving. What's going on?
Oh, poor thing. Her dad died.
Oh, sorry to hear.
Yeah, she took it hard. They had a difficult relationship. Hadn't seen each other in years.
Oh, that's a shame.
Our happy collection of decrepit and demented was a bit much for her to deal with. Awful story. He had a stroke, you see. Kicked on for a few days, but he couldn't speak anymore. Imagine all the things he must have wanted to say to her. She's in front of him, and he's lying there, but he couldn't. Makes you think, doesn't it?
I met her, didn't I?
Yes, once or twice.
And that's the new one outside. She's a bit fierce.
Oh, that's Harnalka. When she first arrived, I was terrified.
Yeah, well, if she gives you any stick, I can make a call.
She's not so bad.
You're not too upset about the other one, Gloria?
These girls come and go. Best not to get too attached.
That sounds sensible. So, Dad, if everything's good here, I better head off before the traffic turns into a car park all the way into the city.
But you just got here, son. At least stayed for lunch. They serve a delicious, lovely bit of chicken.
No, I really can't, but I'll tell you what, We'll come out soon, both of us, for a proper visit.
Lovely.
So I'll be off.
Before you go, give an old man a hug.
I'll stay longer next time.
I know, son.
I promise.
What would you make of this, my love? I made a bloody mess of things. I wish you were here. You always knew what to say to him. But it'll be okay. I'll see you soon.
All right, honey. So that was your son, Paul. How was your visit?
He's not a bad lad.
I'm sure you're right.
Some of the things I said, I want you to know, it's just because I wish things were different. He's not to blame for any of it.
You don't have to explain.
I wasn't myself.
Shorty, really, it's fine. Families are complicated things.
Good. Good. Enough said then. So what time is lunch?
Noon, as usual.
Can I have it in here?
You know the rules.
The dining room then.
Tell you what. I'll ask the kitchen to prepare a tray. But don't you start getting ideas.
You want £400. You actually have to say the line correct